Hello guys, so today we're going to start her hair and hopefully finish the sculpture. So I just want to tell you guys that I made some modifications to her eyes. I don't know if you guys can notice. I brought them a little bit out. I thought they were too much in, and that's pretty much it. That's the only modification, so I thought it looks a little bit more like her. And how did I do that? I just cut the old eye out with a knife and just redid it. So that's why I didn't show. It was just remaking it. All right, so now let's work on her hair. So the first thing that I want to do on her hair, I'm working with dark brown clay, and I'm going to measure. You can measure either with your transparency or with a caliper her hairline. Okay, we want to know how big is her forehead. So let me get a caliper, and I'm going to make a mark with a pencil. Make it stronger, I can barely see it. Right there. Okay, now we can keep on going with the pencil just because it's easier to draw, and we can follow the picture. And I like to go and do the hair, like the hair direction with the pencil around. I don't know if you guys can see the marks. Let me get closer. There. Can you guys see it? Let me make it darker. This is a light brush, light pencil. I'm going to follow lines. So to do the lines, I also want to get a side view so we can see how it goes down, like the shape of the hairline here. Okay, so I'm going to put it in here and kind of copy and draw all around her hairline. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So I copied the side view here. If you want, if you are having difficulties, you can also use the transparency to measure the hairline right there. I didn't measure, but it's pretty good. Or you can use the caliper and also measure up. I mean, everything that you have difficulties, always measure in everything. So now I'm looking at that picture here to see the back view. So I'm going to mark here. Put center. I'm going to center everything just so it makes more sense. Okay, and I'm guessing that the braids are coming from here. I don't know if those are fake braids, so it could be. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull all the hair to one center. So I'm going to mark this center where I want it to be. So here. This is just for me to know how I'm going to mark the clay. So you can either draw or you can mark that after. And here I will finish in here and drag everything to that point. You don't need to do all the marks. We can mark that with a knife after. If it helps you, then you can mark. Okay, and then try to find the same point in here. You can also measure with the caliper, the two sides. Because there's a braid in here and it doesn't need to be perfect, I'm just gonna go eye measurement. So this one I'm gonna mark less. So kind of like how I do with the knife. It's just some lines to make sure I don't get lost. That's it. Okay, All right, once we have that, let's put some clay and start covering up the hair. I'm gonna go there. You can do it all and then split the clay after, or you can do it now. But the important thing is you have to know where the hole is, and then you mark some essential lines here, and then you can cover up the whole thing and you won't get lost. Oh, I had white clay on my tool. Let me clean this up. This clay is pretty soft, so I didn't add any gel. But if your clay is too hard to do that, then just add a little gel. You want a nice and soft clay to be able to go around and get it stuck to the hair, to the head easily. And when you get to the roots here, you don't want a lot of clay, you want a little bit. Let me pull her out of the base. It's just easier to hold her in my hand. And here I can already add the other side as well, because I know that this is just a division to the center, so it doesn't really matter. Once I reach the neck here, I also go with less clay. And then also, if you made like a small head, you can, or is not very rounded, is not very good, symmetrical, then you can always fix the head shape with the hair. Just kind of marking where the hole is. I'm trying to put very thin in here. Okay, so because I have this hole already marked in here, and I know this is in the center, so it's not hard to mark it again. I can use this is always easier to mark. Oops, didn't get straight. There we go. Better. And again, I'm going to mark where I want to bring the hair. So around here and here. Okay, so once I have that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start bringing this hair from the forehead to the back, moving towards the dot that I marked there. And then in the front here, you go to the back and then you pull a little bit to the front. Then you pull to the back again. Then you pull to the front. And keep on doing this until it looks like a natural hairline. And guys, I'm sorry that I had to do all the classes recorded, but my husband had a little accident and he hurted his back. I don't know if I already mentioned. So I am alone doing all the tasks in the house and the kids, and also taking care of him because he can't really get up. He fractured his spine, so he needs to be in bed all the time, and it's pretty hard for me to be, you know, live streaming while he might need me and then he won't feel comfortable to call me. So I had to record all the last classes. I hope you guys don't be upset. But if you have any question or you need any help, you can post in the group and I can still go there and help out. Okay, you see, you start going this really soft. And also here, we'll make sure that it won't have like a step. We will like gradually bring it down. That this part like must be like a little bit rounded, not with the angle. I'm just gonna show half, and then the other half is exactly the same. The most important part of the hair is making the hairline, especially those that are pulled up, that it shows the roots, to make it natural. So other than that, all you need to do is mark, and you can even mark with different tools, you know. So always go from wherever you are to the point that we add. And you'll be fine. Then you go with other tools. You can make deeper marks, shallow marks, and you don't need to make like a lot of them, or you can make a lot of them. It's really depend on the style that you want to do. Okay, so that's about it. I will probably work a little bit better on the roots. Just bring it back and forth until I like. And finish to mark these lines until it's something that I like enough. And then I'll come back to show what I did. So this is what I got for the hair. And once I'm happy with it, I'm gonna bake this for about 10-15 minutes, and then I'll be back to make the braid. So for the braids, I made 3 snakes, and I will just braid them. Just making sure that I'll do it tight, and that the 3 of them together will have the thickness that I'm looking for. Because I will press them together according to what I need, and I can pull a little bit. Okay, so this is what I want, and then I have space to either pull thinner or thicker if I bring this way, and then I can make that decision once I'm on her hair. Now I'm just going to press until the braid get the shape on the head that I want, because I can see that it kind of make it larger to this point and gets thinner here, so I'll just press in and try to give the right shape to it. Once the braid has the shape that I want, I will make some marks. This is also optional, but it's just because I made the marks all over the hair. So I'm also going to mark the braid. So it looks more natural. I'm just following the direction. Okay, so I'm going to do this all over the braid, and I'll be back. All right, now I marked all the braid. And don't forget that you can always manipulate the braid thickness as well. So for example, if you think this is too thick, you can just come here and remove a little bit of it, because the hair underneath is dried, so it won't affect. So you can still shape your braid to get the best result possible. And you can trim edges. Or if you want some parts to be thicker, then you can also add some clay. So for example, we want this to be higher here, so it gives the better shape on her braid. Just add some clay to that spot and blend it in with the hair marks. Then you will have a thicker braid in this spot. Hers kind of make her hair a triangle, so I'll probably make this part a little bit thicker. Or you can also pull out some parts to change the shape. Just always make sure to keep the hair marks, whatever you change. Alright, now that the braid is ready, I'm going to make she has like a turquoise bowl that is under the roses, or whatever those flowers are. And I just opened some clay on my pasta machine, and now I am just pulling with my fingers to make it thinner and less straight, you know. I want to have like marks. Okay, so I'm gonna cut a stripe. So there is a stripe here. And there's no need to go all the way down there because it's not going to show, but if you want, you can press it even thinner to go completely around. I did not bake the braids. I don't want to bake the braids yet because I'm gonna press some flowers in, so I need the braid to be soft. I'm gonna put in there, put in here, fit under the ears, or I can just cut the ears part, pretending that it's coming from the behind the ears, and then I'll just press that in, hide a little bit under there. I'm gonna cut the part that is over the ear, and I'll remove this. So if you're gonna do that now, you can't have it too sticky, otherwise it will stick to the braid, and we want it to go under. So I'm just gonna press under there. just to have some color in there. It won't really show. And we can make some marks because the fabric here is bending. And go all the way around. Okay, so that's it. I'm just gonna put a little bit down there and get a thinner piece. I'm just going to put a little bit there. If you want, because this could be under the braid and not showing at all. So we don't need to go all the way around. There we go. That's good enough. And now it looks like there's a bow in there under the flower, so I'm just gonna get the same ribbon and make a kind of like a bow, but this is all going to be hidden. So I just went around and around. I'm going to press the center. I'm not gonna be too concerned about this because it will be pretty hidden by the flowers. Like, I'm not even gonna put the whole thing, to be honest. I think I'm just gonna put like part of it here because it's basically what the only part that I can see is some blue over here, and I'm guessing that is a bowl. I'll put this one right now, and if I think that I need to put more later, then I will. So now I'm gonna get the roses, the flowers that are baked already, and I'm going to place them according to her hairstyle. If you need to put some gel to make the flower to stay, if it's not enough soft clay to stick around, it's fine. Add some liquid clay. Oops, that's a lot. Add some liquid clay to your flower and place it. This one. I'm gonna add this one right here. And there's a tiny little one, and this one is going to need for sure liquid clay, or you can get some thick clay, could be brown even, to help if the liquid clay is not holding. There. And there's another one Let's see if this one gets better here. This one right here. This one right there. And there's another one right here. I like it. All right, so I'm just gonna look at the back and see if there's anything to fix out here. So maybe you want to add some hair to fix the braid to the back and make sure that it will look like the flower is coming from inside the hair. So for example, if it's too flat in here, you can add a little bit of round like this, just so it's harmonic and nothing looks weird in the back. We can redesign the braid as well. And here too, I'm going to hide the beginning of the flower there. All right, now I'm gonna bake this and then I'll be back to finish my painting. So the hair is baked and now I'm going to paint with, I'm using Genesis, but you guys can use acrylics and then add the gel over top. And I'm using with dissolved in a little bit of oil. You guys can use like a very watery acrylics, because I want the black to get inside the marks, but not really to cover the whole hair color, because you want some brown to show. Now I'm going to paint. If you want to shade the ribbon, you can. And then here is the thing, when we get to the roots, this is where we're going to also give the effect, the same one that we give on the eyebrow, to look like nice roots. You can get like a thinner brush and do some hair out of the spots so it doesn't look like too fake. This is gonna give a nice looking. That's it. And you can go back with a thicker brush and it's kind of like shading the hair. We don't really need to paint the whole thing. It's just so it's not so brown and it's not so black. And if you think you added too much, you can always clean up a little bit with a paper or a sponge or another brush, dry brush. But don't forget, if you add acrylics, to add a layer of liquid paint on top. Okay. So this is painted and this is not painted. So here you can see the difference. I'm not sure if you guys can see on the camera, but I can still see the brown. I'm not painting all the way in the color. I'm adding more oil to my brush. So when I put it on, it's kind of like what I did with Sitting Bull. So the more liquid you do, the more the paint will get inside the marks and not as much on the outside. I mean on the top. And then it's gonna look more like a shading thing. Let me try to get a zoom so you guys can see. I don't know if you can see still because it's brown and black, so it's hard to see. Anyway, you will see in person. So I'm just going to finish to paint this hair carefully, and that's it. And Frida is ready. I mean, I'm gonna bake it and then she's ready. So I'm gonna post a picture of the final result here. I hope you guys enjoy this class, and again, I'm sorry for stop the live classes and doing it recorded, but it's really hard to give assistance to my husband and be live at the same time. All right, see you guys next class. I'll be probably already have a vote. We're gonna do a vote for decide who's gonna be next, the next bust or whatever you guys want to learn, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Bye bye.